let's shift into the main event. This was such a packed Dynamite. I'm wearing my Cody Rhodes shirt in honor of Team Babyface being drafted on Cody Rhodes himself. But Malakai Black, his in-ring debut, started off with an absolute bang with his entrance, his horns he was wearing, the mask he was wearing. Everything about this I was just like popping for at home. I mean, this was absolutely incredible entrance, and I loved how they booked this. This was, to me, I was hoping for this, and everyone in the back of our minds, I'm sure, was thinking like, let's not have this be another time where Cody wants to put a new talent down or anything like that. And so I was very pleased with the result of this. This was an absolute convincing win. That top rope spot onto the table was brutal. And then just that knockout kick, which Malakai Black's roundhouse kicks are second to none in the industry. And boy, oh boy, can he connect with those. But the match itself
now than he did when he was in WWE too. To me, as somebody who's seen him, definitely more. He's in the peak condition that I've seen him in, and for good reason. It's evident that AEW's they're gonna strap a rocket to this dude and like just let him.
The crowd is showing it too.
Yeah, man, the crowd was hot for this. His entrance was a banger. Which, I mean, kudos to this dude. He just knows. He knows how the art of performance. I mean, he knows how to play to the crowd. He knows how to kind of keep that mystique, that aura, just that ambiance.
The Indian style in the middle of the ring, waiting.
You get when you get to watch this guy.
He's a scary guy too.
Yeah, I mean, and I think credit where credit's due. I think Malakai is going to get a lot of credit for how he showed out, in his debut match in AEW. But man, there's no wonder why he debuted against Cody, man. I wanted to put this out there in the universe. I just didn't know how to do so on Twitter with the way the match ended and then bled into a very perplexing promo afterwards. But dude, Cody's got to a point now, and I'll even admit it, that I've fallen into this trap, but I feel like Cody is so consistent that he's become underappreciated by a lot of people in AEW fan, the landscape of AEW. Like, I feel like Cody is such a great foundation for matches. The guy is so smart, and he knows how to tell an abuse. And sometimes I'm going to admit the epic Cody Rhodes match, that trope has worn thin at times in the past to me. When he's done that epic match against talent,
Peter Avalon.
Yes, right. Talents that maybe shouldn't be on the same level as a Cody Rhodes. But man, when you put Cody in the right situation with the right opponent, it's hard to find a guy in the business that just gets it like he does. And it's no wonder why Malakai looked as good as he did, because Cody, I really felt like Cody did it. He did the Lord's work tonight and putting Malakai over. I mean,
so happy
going
for it.
Going through the table, like you talked about, like everything about it, the mystique, like allowing Malakai countering the crossroads with that nice knee to the face. A lot of cool things that happened in this match, SPD. But I think the overarching story is that Cody was going to get put down by Malakai, and that was the intent of it going in. Malakai, we've heard that story before. Brody Lee, when he debuted, he wanted to put him down. Lance Archer, and I'll always remember that Caesar promo by Jake Roberts when Lance came into the scene.
Right.
There's something that feels different about the way this feud is playing out, and I know it's early, but I think that Cody's at a different stage, maybe mentally, life-wise. I mean, he has a beautiful wife and kid, and you start to think about maybe Cody is willing to put Malakai over in the ultimate way. That post-match segment left a lot of us wondering.
Yeah, I mean, I need to let it digest, and I want to kind of talk more in depth about it on Friday, but I didn't know. It was kind of came out of left field, like Cody hinting at leaving his boots and retiring. I feel like that would be a mistake. The guy is still in his very prime, and it's such an infancy company. Obviously, he does more than just wrestle, but for him to put over Malakai was awesome. I mean, he put over a lot of people, including the great Brody Lee. And the pin and the finish was very surprising. And so I'm happy for it, and I was pumped to see Malakai reemerge at the end and kind of stop Cody. So I think that was you reel us all in, and you get us all bummed and sad for most people, but there was still a hint of the crowd wishing Cody goodbye.
Everybody's
kind of like the John Cena treatment.
There are going to be people like me who are cheering the heels. That's always going to happen, right? I get it.
I know. So I'm hoping this will just either we don't see him for a bit, he's recovered, or this feud kind of continues a little bit more and Cody doesn't leave. But I really enjoyed the way this was told. It was a quick match and a convincing one and a way to really elevate Malakai. But like, what's next with Malakai? If Cody is on the shelf for a little bit, or out of the picture for a little bit, I don't know what would be next for him that I'm thinking of, but I think you have yourselves a instant star right here, and that's why he was my top performer of the night. And even though I am Team Babyface and wearing my Cody shirts, Malakai Black's in-ring debut was probably the most impressive we've seen out of some of the most recent in-ring debuts. Andrade was, it was a fine match, but it got the picture-in-picture treatment. This got the main event treatment, and as it should. And so who else other than his debut in the last, let's say, 6 months are you most impressed with that really kind of made a wow factor? I mean,
on their initial debut, you're right.
Initial debut.
Yeah,
match.
I mean, this is a big debut going against Cody. Putting him, like, the entrance was absolutely epic by Malakai, and again, that dude's a brilliant performer. He gets it. Convincing win against Cody, put him down, and then came back and beat him down again after the match and left him laying, and really ruined a moment that was shaping up to be perhaps the biggest moment in AEW history. I mean, you got to think about what Cody Rhodes means to AEW.
Sure.
Him hanging up the boots or leaving them in the ring and kind of walking off, that could have been the biggest moment in this company's history to this point.
Yeah, it would have been very surprising.
Malakai made sure to ruin that. So I understand why Malakai was your pick. Absolutely great pick by you. Can't argue that.